One of the things that I notice the most about people on the left versus people on the right is people on the left, for the most part, they want a better world for all of us. Even if you're a Republican who just wants to own the libs or make the libs cry, the left does not want to see anybody struggle or suffer in this society. A lot of the times, people on the right are content to struggle as long as they see other people who have it worse than them around them. They'll say things like, I don't want the government paying for things for me. A government big enough to give you everything is a government big enough to take everything away. Or, I struggled through life, so I don't see why these people should get it easy. And they want to blame all of their problems on poor people instead of the people that are actually screwing them over. They never want to blame the rich that is hoarding the wealth because the rich have good propaganda. They can point the finger at the poor people. The poor people can't afford to point the finger at the rich people. And the crazy thing is that they're so quick to buy into every single conspiracy out there except for that the rich are screwing them over. And they don't want to tax the rich because they might get to be one of them someday. Because a lot of the Republicans are saying, we're not a nation of haves and have-nots. We're a nation of haves and gonna haves. And these people are all like, well, I like the sound of that. Yeah, give those rich people more tax breaks. Maybe it'll trickle down to me someday. Even if these billionaires are taxed at a 90% tax rate, that money is still going to trickle up to them eventually. It's just going to pass through our hands first. Because we're going to buy things that they are putting out. But if we don't have the money to do that, how are we going to do that? We could have so much going for us in this country, but conservative hate is so much more important to them than trying to make a better world for all of us. So they're doing everything in their power to try and kick and scream and drag us backwards to a nostalgic time that never existed. They just heard from their grandpappy that there used to be a golden age and we can get there again if we just try and regress. We could have a healthcare system that works for every single person in this country, but conservatives just go, nah, not if they're gonna get it too. We could have high-speed public transit in this country like they have in other countries, where you could just go traveling for the weekend and see like a whole other part of the earth. But conservatives are largely like, nah, I'm content to sit in traffic. Have you ever seen anybody roll coal before? It's cool. We could absolutely make it where everybody gets a living wage, and some people who have more skills get more money. But they say no to that too for some reason. They constantly feel like they need someone to look down on so that they don't ever feel like they're on the bottom. And a lot of times they just can't stand to see other people of a different skin color or a different shade of queer do as well as they are or better than them in any way. But now, all the things that they voted for is coming back to bite them on the ass, like we told them that it would. Now they're getting upset because we're not giving them any empathy for the way that they are being treated. It's mostly because we're sick of being hurt by their actions. We saw this a lot during COVID. Their convenience was much more important to them than other people's lives around them. You have a weakened immune system? Shit, not my problem. If you're scared, stay home. And now these people have willingly handed their country over to a tyrannical government. You know, the thing that the second A bros say that they will never stand for? I guess they don't care being subjugated as long as it's somebody that they voted for. So now that their leader needs nothing from them, he's going to torture them too. And they're going to scream and cry and say how it's not fair. They will expect empathy from us, but that well has run dry. About the only thing those of us on the left have to look forward to anymore is watching them learn the lesson the hard way because we had the foresight to see this coming. But hey, Maga, if you just wouldn't have made it your mission in life to be cruel to people that you saw as different than you, we wouldn't be in this position. Yes, you got to make life harder for the libs and the people of color and the queers. You got to own everybody that you hate. When you get to the point where hate is all that you love, then misery is all that you will find.